The following protest may contain content. Guys, the bravery of the Sudanese people who 6 years ago rose up to demand an end to oppression, militarization. In 2019, Omar al-Bashir was ousted in a military coup, ending his 30-year dictatorship. The Sudanese Revolution stands as a symbol of resistance, with grassroots efforts for the freedom of the Sudanese people and a transition to democratic rule. Since the outbreak of the war on April 15, 2023, the people of Sudan have endured unimaginable suffering due to the ongoing conflict between the Sudanese Armed Forces, the SAF, and the Rapid Support Forces, the RSF, also known as the Janjaweed, which translates to devils riding on horsebacks. So the RSF and the SAF, who persist in their struggle for power, control, and resources, while the civilian death toll continues to rise. The world is witnessing one of the largest displacement crises. Shame! With over 14 million people forced to flee or expelled from their homes. Shame! Sudan has topped the International Rescue Committee's watch list of global humanitarian crises for the second year in a row. Shame! A staggering total of 30.4 million people are in desperate need for humanitarian assistance. Shame! Making it the world's single biggest humanitarian crisis ever recorded. Shame!
You really have to just sit back and just tell yourself, like, I did come out for my people today, and we are doing something, and inshallah, Sudan will have our country back.
One of the best cultures and overall one of the most beautiful places in the world. People like Keir Starmer are afraid to help the people of Sudan because personally I don't think they're used to seeing such diverse culture and like such beautiful and kind people, and I feel like he's scared of that, so he's choosing to avoid it and he's choosing to pay to destroy it. Shame! Being a youth in Sudan, being a youth from Sudan is like, it's not rare, but like I don't usually see people people my age talking about it, and it's really upsetting because it's just become normalized now and it shouldn't.
Present 1 minute silence, please. In the name of the Sudanese initiative against the war, I thank you for coming out. And we got just short messages for all the Sudanese people, the displaced people, the refugees, the people who suffered, the people who lost their loved one. So we are in the Sudanese initiative. We inviting you all to unite it under the no to war, stop the war. So we will not tolerate this. We are against all the militias, all the army. We all being killed by them. So whatever they have, their differences is not for the sake of the revolution. So the revolution has a one target, is to topple all the militias, all the dictators. We are the Sudanese. We deserve civilian rule. We urge the British and the UN and all the freedom world to support the civilian rule, because this is going to be the sustainable solution for the Sudan, for the development, and even for the so-called illegal immigration. So invest on the people, invest on the civilian people, all the people here. 6 years ago, we marched through London roads, through all European capitals, Sudan cities, from Damascene on the 13th of December, Gaddarif, Adbara, till we topple the regime in Khartoum. So our message is that please talk and engage with the civilian. So the army has to go back to the barracks. No militia, no Islamic. We don't need any Syrian scenarios. We don't need any fanatics to come in the name of toppling a dictator. We are not going to replace a dictator with another dictatorship. So our message is, please invest on the civilian. The civilian have the right. The civilian will sustain the peace. The civilian will stop all this so-called illegal immigration. The civilian will stop all this human rights violation, the genocide. We stand with Darfurian people against the genocide in Darfur, in Jibal al-Nuba, in South Brunei. So let us unite and send the message. Please write to your MPs and tell them and remind them, we are the civilian, we will win. Don't ever invest on the army, don't ever invest on the militia and all those regional powers and the international power. Lift your hand, leave the Sudanese alone. We are capable of, we topple them, all of them. Kizan, Janjaweed, Burhan, we topple them all three. So we are capable of that. So our message is investment in civilian, investment not in the people who are carrying Kalashnikov. We don't want any militia replacing or replicating Syria's one. We wanted the Sudanese, the civilian, the people who devote their time, their life, their money for this good cause. We don't want an international imposed resolution or solution. We want our solution. Listen to us. We are capable. We know the land. We are from that land. We know it in out. So rather than go and invest on all those armed people, arms dealers, people who looting the Sudan, looting the gold, and I'm saying this message to those cowards, the people who try to intimidate ladies and gentlemen in UK street. You're not going to scare us. We're coming after you. We're coming after you by law. And remember that you're not going to give up. We here today stand for 19 December, that's December Revolution. And we will fight you with under the rule of law. You're not going to scare anyone, individual or group. You're not going to single anyone. We all here for peace, freedom, and justice.